Drills Talk, episode 122. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons to protect your memory. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled The Misinformation Effect. Why are we protecting our memory? Because we are in an information age where everything is just thrown at us. And although we think that these 10-second videos and these 15-second videos and these crazy pictures that we're seeing are not desensitizing us or not changing the way we view a current event, we are fooling ourselves because it is. We grasp everything. And although we don't think we remember, it is there in our subconscious. This is why we can watch game shows and know answers to stuff that we don't know why we know, because we've heard it before and it's stuck. And it had nothing to do with our quote unquote voluntary memory. So let's sit back and learn something. Let's go. Drills Talk, episode 122. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons to protect your memory. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here we're an entrepreneurship-based channel. Every Monday, we have a new blog. Every Wednesday, there's a new Drills Talk. I also post entrepreneurship-based videos and motivational videos, and I hope you check those out too. Let's get started. Number one is the misinformation effect. The misinformation effect, when I first heard about it, scared the hell out of me. And it basically states that your memory can be altered by someone even questioning you in a way to where they can spin your memory and make you remember something or change the way you remember it. So let me give you an example. For instance, if those who are old enough to experience or be around when the 9/11 tragedy occurred, I'm in Brooklyn, New York. I lived in a high rise. I could see the smoke from my window when I got back home from school. I was pretty close to it, right? If you remember that day, you get news, say you're in school, because I was in school when it happened, say you're at work or whatever, whatever your age is. And you get home, right? There's a panic, you get home. If you were lucky enough to not have to go to work that day or you were already home, great. But when you turn the TV on, during it occurring, maybe an hour after, there's these full news stories. Weapons of mass destruction is already being spoken upon. They got pictures of people who snuck into the country. They know that they received, pilot training, all of this stuff in like an hour. How, and why, and how does ABC know exactly what NBC knows? CBS reporting the same thing. Telemundo is saying that they're speaking about it in Spanish. Like, how did all these outlets get the scoop? Like in news is a scoop. Like it's our story, at least for a couple of hours, 5-6 hours before someone else can get and gather the information, or they have to watch us and spew out everything. They're going to take it and repackage it and stay it on their channel. No, it was none of that. It was everything was readily available and everyone was saying the same thing, which changed the way we remembered it. And we didn't even think about it. That's what I go to now when I'm talking about 9/11 and with weapons of mass destruction and all this other stuff. And it's not because I can see it from my window. It's because of what was on the television networks. And if that wasn't pushed into my ears and stuffed into my brain, would I remember that day differently? The misinformation effect says absolutely. So prepare yourself for when you experience something and you see how it occurs and you know how it makes you feel. Write that down, record that, tell yourself how that feels before someone can get to you and tell you another spin of the story, before it takes away your memory of that event. It sounds like it doesn't happen and it's not a real thing, but it is a real thing. You should take it seriously. Protect your memory. Number two is having your own account. So I mentioned recording it, written or verbal. Just have your ideas down. How did this make you feel? What occurred? what you know is the truth at that moment in time. And a good test, although it'll be scary, a good test would be to, when you experience something, no matter, it could be the next tragedy that comes, or it could be something really great, just record yourself speaking about what occurred and how you feel about it and what it did to you at that moment. And then leave that there. Listen to the spin. Listen to it on, such and such channel, and then listen to another news outlet of, talk about it or whatever. Wait a week. Listen to some more spin about it, and then write down your thoughts and what you feel and how it makes you feel. And then compare and contrast and scare the hell out of yourself, because it will not be the same. Your memory would change. The way you saw it would change. What you mentioned here will probably only get a sentence here. What you weren't very upset about here, you're extremely upset about here. It's just like, what happened? Like, I thought this was me. I thought this was the way I felt about it. No, it was not. It was the story. It was what was implanted into your memory. And now that you know the power of that, maybe you'll be a little more wary of what you allow in, because it's sticking, whether you don't, you want it to stick or not, whether you know or not, it's there. I mentioned earlier that, we listen to things on TV and we know answers to quizzes and things like that. Like we're playing Jeopardy. And how did I know that? Like I've never read Shakespeare in my life. I will kill a Shakespeare category on Jeopardy because I've listened to it so much. I've heard so many quiz questions and I know so many answers. It's as if I read it, and I haven't. But I'll probably get 3 out of 5 right. I'll probably get 4 out of 5 right, depending on how what type of questions they asked, what type of books, what Shakespeare books are they talking about, which plays are they discussing. It's real. Number 3. Number 3 is to stop generational lies. So we talked about the news giving us spin. And I'm not trying to be this, conspiracy theorist. There's no conspiracies here. Generational lies, textbooks, winners being able to tell the story as the truth, whatever they're saying, to the winner goes the spoils. You get to take everything and you get to tell the story, because the loser is not alive to tell the story. But the worst thing that can happen with memory is generationally, we're passing down these lies to where it put us at a disadvantage. We didn't know. But then we told it to our kids, putting them at a disadvantage, and they didn't know. And then they do the same to their children. Now we're 3 generations deep at this disadvantage of believing a lie. And we don't really take it seriously because we don't think it's a lie. Well, it's in a textbook. I see it all over the place. I saw it on the History Channel. It's dangerous. There's things out there to where we can debunk a lot of things that we believe to be true. And we're in the information age, and sometimes we just look away from that information because it's going against what we believed our whole life. But we got to give our children a chance to live without that lie over them, because that lie that we believed unknowingly could have held us back. Seeing that no one who looks like you was running the world at any point in time, it seems like in the textbooks, would tell you that you have no chance of gaining any power in life. You have no chance of running anything in life. Your people have no chance of doing something great and having their own, because you've never seen it. You never read about it. Don't put that into your next generation. Be wary of what you are passing down. Question everything, especially what you're about to give to your kids. Number 4. Number 4 is it promotes internal dialogue. And don't be worried about talking to yourself. I'm not saying externally talking to yourself and reacting and all that stuff. That's a different issue. But internal dialogue. Having a discussion with yourself. How do I feel about this? Do I need to write it down? Do I need to record it? Your thoughts should be with yourself when you are taking in some information for the first time or experiencing something for the first time. Internal dialogue is great. You don't need the external, because the external, although it may or may not be any ill will there, but it does mess with your memory of a situation. So before it gets any impurities, which will be external information, speak with yourself, understand how you felt about it, understand what you remember about it, understand what made you upset about it, understand what made you happy about it. How are you going to take this occurrence and make it work for you? Is it something you're going to dismiss? Is it something you're going to take with you and remember for life? Record it, understand it, and then just to confirm what you're doing and why you're doing it, take in all the information you can after you've recorded it, and then compare and contrast your feelings about a week or two later. And understand that the misinformation effect is a real thing. And I hope that I've opened your eyes. And if I've opened your eyes, please share this video and open a couple more. Drills Talk, episode 122. These are the top 4 reasons to protect your memory. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this shit out. It's Drills.